Something powerful exploded in the Nevada desert in 1953. Moments later, a strange metallic disk appeared in the sky, only to vanish into the mountains. What happened next became one of the most closely guarded secrets in US history. For decades, Area 51 has fueled wild theories and official denials. However, newly declassified files and insider claims now suggest a startling possibility. This previously hidden base may have been the site of our first contact with extraterrestrial beings. And that's just the beginning. Let's explore. Kingman, Arizona, May 21, 1953. Just 2 days after a mysterious object was reportedly spotted during a nuclear test, government officials are said to have secretly assembled a team of 40 engineers in Phoenix. They were told nothing about their destination, only that they were needed for a classified assignment of national importance. The bus ride to Kingman reportedly took 3.5 hours. Upon arrival under the cover of darkness, witnesses claimed they saw something that defied their understanding of physics and technology. According to these accounts, military police had cordoned off a 40-foot diameter disc-shaped craft. But here's what makes this different from many other UFO stories. The craft was said to be completely intact, not a single scratch, as if it had landed deliberately rather than crashed. Reports also described 4 beings near the craft. According to Captain Bill House, a former Navy pilot who later claimed to have worked at Area 51, one of these beings allegedly survived. Nicknamed J-Rod, he was said to have interacted with the United States government for decades. If true, this wasn't just a recovery operation, it marked the beginning of a collaboration that, some believe, helped advance human technology in extraordinary ways. If full disclosure happened tomorrow, would you welcome it, or fear what it means for everything we thought we knew? Comment and chat with me. Here's where the story gets interesting. Some researchers and theorists claim that Area 51 didn't exist before what's become known as the Kingman Incident. According to these accounts, the site may have been selected because of what was reportedly discovered in that desert. Nestled within a ring of mountains in Nevada, the location offered an ideal backdrop for secrecy. But this raised a major logistical challenge. How would a large-scale underground facility be constructed without drawing public attention? One theory points to Nevada's mining industry. Mining expert Christian Grunow, who has worked in Nevada mines since 1992, has suggested that the government may have used industrial-scale techniques like heap leaching to manage and relocate excavated materials. In this process, large volumes of rock and earth, potentially treated with industrial chemicals such as mercury or cyanide, resembled typical mining waste. According to reports, nearby gold and silver mines were allegedly compensated to receive these materials, with confidentiality agreements in place due to the unusual volumes involved. But what was supposedly being built beneath the surface? Former engineer T.D. Barnes, who has spoken publicly about his time working at Area 51 from 1960 to 2009, has claimed that the underground network beneath the base is far more extensive than most people assume. He describes a system of tunnels that may link various facilities, possibly using high-speed underground transport, with Area 51 serving as a central node in what some believe to be a vast hidden infrastructure. Before continuing, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, please hit the notification bell and subscribe. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Now here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. According to microbiologist Dan Birish, who claimed to have worked directly with an entity referred to as J-Rod for several years, this being wasn't described as an alien from another planet. Instead, Birish suggested that J-Rod was a future version of a human. But not just any future human. He alleged that a catastrophic event in humanity's timeline could lead to a divergence, creating 2 distinct evolutionary paths. One group, he claimed, went underground and over thousands of years developed insectoid-like traits. This theory also ties into ancient indigenous legends. The Hopi, Zuni, and Navajo peoples tell stories of the Ant people, beings who are said to have sheltered humanity underground during times of catastrophe. Some researchers interpret these stories as symbolic or possibly even connected to speculative accounts like Birish's. Could it be that these aren't merely myths? Some believe that entities like J-Rod could represent our distant descendants, returning to our time to warn us or prevent the very disaster that shaped their existence. While such ideas remain highly controversial and speculative, they continue to captivate the imagination of researchers and storytellers alike. Boyd Bushman knew his time was limited. A senior scientist at Lockheed Martin with 27 patents to his name, he made a decision that stirred both curiosity and controversy. On June 17, 2014, just months before his passing, Bushman recorded a video testimony in which he shared personal accounts of what he claimed to have witnessed regarding advanced technology allegedly studied at Area 51. In the recording, Bushman described handling materials he believed to be components of spacecraft, containing elements such as cadmium, germanium, and palladium in unusual configurations. He claimed these vehicles used propulsion systems based on principles that he said defied traditional physics, specifically forms of anti-gravity technology that, according to him, we are only beginning to grasp. Crucially, Bushman suggested that the technology wasn't merely under examination, it was, in his words, being implemented. These statements, though highly controversial and unverified, have fueled speculation ever since. Some researchers and theorists point to the dramatic technological advancements of the past 70 years: fiber optics, stealth technology, computer microprocessors, and even the internet, as possibly coinciding with key historical moments such as the Kingman Incident and the establishment of Area 51. Could it be, they ask, that elements of our digital age were influenced by reverse-engineered technologies, perhaps even from alleged future humans? While there is no concrete evidence to support this theory, it continues to inspire debate and investigation. Captain David Fruehauf, a former pilot of the SR-71 spy plane, an aircraft capable of flying coast to coast in under an hour, reportedly commuted from Las Vegas to Area 51 between 1979 and 1985 via Janet Airlines. This classified transport airline, known for its blacked-out windows, was said to move personnel to restricted military sites. But Fruehauf later described witnessing something that, according to him, lent credibility to one of the most controversial claims in UFO history. He recounted that certain passengers on the same Janet flight would disembark and transfer to buses headed toward a location even more secretive than Area 51, an alleged facility referred to as S4. According to Fruehauf, this site matched the description made years earlier by Bob Lazar, who famously claimed to have worked on advanced propulsion systems of unknown origin at S4. While Lazar's assertions have been widely debated and met with skepticism, Fruehauf claimed that he knew individuals who said they had seen Lazar at the facility. Supporters argue that this offers circumstantial validation of Lazar's presence there, though no formal documentation has ever confirmed it. According to proponents of this theory, S4 is where more unconventional research allegedly occurs. Whereas Area 51 is generally regarded as a hub for experimental military aviation, S4 is described by theorists as a compartmentalized site deep within the Papoose Mountains, possibly consisting of multiple subterranean levels. These levels are said to be highly restricted, with personnel only given access to the specific sections required for their role. While no verifiable evidence of such a facility has been released, the story remains a focal point in discussions about classified technology and UFO research. According to some researchers, this story may trace back far earlier than 1953. What if the Kingman Incident wasn't a first contact, but rather a reunion? Some theorists suggest that advanced intelligences could have been visiting Earth for thousands of years, possibly influencing human development along the way. Supporters of this view often point to ancient artifacts and monuments. The Sumerian tablets, for instance, describe the Anunnaki being said to have descended from the sky to share advanced knowledge with early civilizations. Similarly, the precision of the Egyptian pyramids and the vast, aerially visible Nazca lines in Peru have led some to speculate about external influence, particularly given the absence of known flight technology in those eras. Rather than viewing these as mere coincidences, some interpret them as potential breadcrumbs left by advanced visitors, perhaps even the same entities now rumored to be connected with secret underground facilities like those near Area 51. Dr. Michael Salla, a researcher in the field of exopolitics, has proposed that so-called extraterrestrials may represent multiple lineages of future humans, that are arriving from different timelines, each shaped by distinct global catastrophes. According to Sala, some of these groups stem from futures devastated by nuclear conflict, while others originate from timelines where ecological collapse drove humanity underground. Each group, he suggests, returns not to harm but to share knowledge and technology intended to help us avoid repeating their mistakes. March 16, 1957. According to an account by Chaplain Frank Stranges, who claimed to have held top-secret clearance, a mysterious craft reportedly landed in a field near Alexandria, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. Stranges stated that a human-looking being emerged from the craft and requested an audience with then-President Dwight D. Eisenhower. This being, who identified himself as Valiant Thor, was described as an ambassador from an advanced group concerned about humanity's use of nuclear weapons. Based on Strange's testimony, Thor allegedly met with President Eisenhower, Vice President Richard Nixon, and Secretary of Defense Charles Wilson at the Pentagon. What makes this story particularly extraordinary is Strange's claim that Thor remained on Earth for approximately 3 years, residing in a specially prepared apartment beneath the Pentagon and offering advice on global policy matters. These assertions, though widely debated and unverified, have remained a fixture in certain circles of UFO and exopolitical research. According to believers in this theory, Thor's presence wasn't part of an invasion or abduction narrative. It was a form of diplomacy. They suggest that beings like Thor may have been involved in quiet collaborations with government officials, offering technology and insights to help guide humanity. In this speculative view, underground facilities like those at Area 51 are not merely research hubs. They are interpreted as neutral zones or embassies for potential interspecies cooperation, conducted outside the public eye to avoid panic. Some researchers argue that what we know about technological progress may only tell part of the story. For instance, there's a theory that the transistor, commonly credited to Bell Labs in 1947, was reverse-engineered from advanced materials recovered after the Roswell incident. According to this view, the integrated circuit, now foundational to all modern computing, may have similarly emerged from the analysis of crashed craft. Even stealth technology, officially attributed to Lockheed's Skunk Works program, is sometimes speculated to have drawn inspiration from unconventional materials found in retrieved vehicles. Clarence Kelly Johnson, the legendary aircraft designer behind the U-2 spy plane, reportedly had a UFO sighting on December 16, 1953. According to public records, his account and sketches were included in Project Blue Book archives. Some theorists believe that rather than being dismissed, Johnson was given deeper access to classified programs and even influenced the selection of the Area 51 testing site, possibly due to his reliability and discretion. The SR-71 Blackbird, known to reach speeds of over 2,000 miles per hour, utilizes engineering principles that remain the subject of technical fascination. Likewise, the F-117 Nighthawk's angular design is noted by some for resembling the geometric patterns described in recovered craft reports. Proponents of this perspective suggest that these technologies are not purely human inventions, but rather careful adaptations of knowledge gradually shared, perhaps with the intent of guiding, not overwhelming, human advancement. While mainstream science does not support these claims, they continue to fuel speculation within the UFO research community. Today, Area 51 operates differently than it did in the 1950s and 60s. With satellite surveillance and widespread speculation on the internet, total secrecy has become nearly impossible, forcing changes in how such sites function. Area 51 is now believed to primarily serve as a testing ground for advanced but conventional aircraft, while other experimental efforts may occur elsewhere. Flights operated by the so-called Janet Airlines reportedly still service the area, but some accounts suggest they may now connect to other research facilities, such as rumored underground complexes in New Mexico and Colorado or remote sites in Australia and Antarctica. While the existence of such a network remains speculative, each site is often associated with specific areas of research in popular accounts. For example, some theories propose that the Dulce site is linked to biological experiments aimed at enhancing human adaptability. Others claim that Cheyenne Mountain has been used for advanced computing projects, including ideas related to digital memory preservation. Antarctica, meanwhile, is sometimes cited in fringe discussions about climate technology. These claims remain unverified and are part of broader speculative narratives often discussed in online forums. On August 15, 2013, the CIA publicly acknowledged the existence of Area 51, releasing declassified documents confirming its use for testing spy planes during the Cold War. However, the documents made no mention of extraterrestrial technology or non-human intelligence, leading some researchers and commentators to suggest that this omission was intentional. In 2020, the U.S. Department of Defense released 3 verified videos showing what it termed unidentified aerial phenomena. These clips sparked renewed debate, with observers noting unusual flight behaviors that some believe defy current aerospace capabilities. Former Pentagon insiders, including Luis Elizondo and Christopher Mellon, have made public statements suggesting that UAPs have been the subject of government interest for many years. In 2023, David Grush, a former intelligence official, testified before Congress, claiming that classified programs exist to study what he described as non-human technology. He said that while he could not reveal details publicly due to classification, he had submitted evidence to the Inspector General. While these accounts remain unverified and are the subject of ongoing investigation and debate, some interpret them as part of a broader pattern of gradual disclosure. Whether such disclosure is occurring or not remains speculative, but it continues to fuel public curiosity about the possibility of contact with non-human intelligence. Why do you think the CIA waited until 2013 to officially acknowledge Area 51? What were they hiding? If this theory is correct, it could challenge many of our long-held assumptions about human history and our role in the universe. Some believe that we've never been alone, and that we've quietly received help along the way. According to certain fringe researchers and whistleblower accounts, non-human entities may have interacted with human institutions, not to harm, but to assist our survival. Supporters of this view often point to the timing of major technological breakthroughs. The internet emerged just as global communication became essential. Satellite technology was developed when we needed tools to monitor the Earth. Medical innovations like MRI machines and laser surgery appeared during periods of increasing population pressure and demand for advanced healthcare. These patterns, some argue, may not be purely coincidental. Instead, they may reflect a form of guided progress, what some describe as technology seeding or intervention. Challenges such as climate change, nuclear proliferation, and overpopulation remain daunting, but according to these theories, the tools to address them may already exist, awaiting the right societal maturity to be responsibly deployed. It's important to note that these ideas remain speculative and are based on controversial testimonies and interpretations. They are not confirmed by mainstream science or government disclosures. According to some controversial figures, such as Dan Burish, who claims insider knowledge, technology alone may not guarantee our survival. These sources suggest that in various theoretical timelines, technological advancement, without a parallel evolution in human consciousness, often results in collapse. In this view, achieving faster-than-light travel while still engaging in tribal conflicts could mean exporting our problems beyond Earth rather than solving them. Supporters of gradual disclosure theories argue that humanity is not only being prepared to accept the existence of non-human intelligence, but also the responsibility that comes with mastering advanced technology. Concepts like free energy, anti-gravity propulsion, and consciousness transfer are often cited in these discussions as potential game changers, tools that could solve critical global problems but which require maturity to wield safely. Some fringe theorists claim that the beings associated with places like Area 51 are not merely offering technology, but also observing humanity's ethical development. According to this interpretation, acts of war, compassion, and environmental stewardship are part of an ongoing evaluation. While these claims are unverified and debated, they reflect a growing belief that disclosure, if it occurs, may be as much about spiritual readiness as technological preparedness. Multiple factors are converging that, according to some researchers and theorists, make disclosure of unexplained aerial phenomena increasingly likely. First, our technology has advanced significantly. Modern radar systems, satellite networks, and even civilian smartphones have captured aerial events that are difficult to explain using currently known technology. While not conclusive, these observations have drawn the attention of both the government and scientific communities. Second, the environmental and technological challenges humanity faces, such as climate change, nuclear proliferation, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering, are becoming more complex. Some believe that if an external intervention were ever to occur, it would need to happen during this pivotal period. Third, there is a generational shift occurring within national security circles. The individuals who created and maintained secrecy protocols during the Cold War era are aging or have passed on. Their successors may hold different perspectives on what information should remain classified. Finally, as aerospace programs continue to expand globally, countries like China, Russia, and others are reportedly documenting similar unexplained phenomena. While there is no public confirmation of official relationships with non-human intelligence, these claims circulate in fringe communities and have prompted renewed international interest in transparency. These views remain speculative and are part of an ongoing conversation that blends testimony, theory, and observation. They are not confirmed by mainstream science or government disclosure. New declassified stories, first-hand testimonies, and untold encounters are coming. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next piece of the puzzle. Some researchers and theorists have proposed that something much larger may be unfolding beyond what traditional UFO or time travel narratives suggest. According to these speculative interpretations, Earth may be at the center of what they call a temporal convergence, a period in which multiple timelines or versions of humanity's future intersect to influence the present. In these theories, different groups, possibly representing future human civilizations or advanced entities, are believed to have varying concerns, from preventing nuclear conflict to mitigating environmental collapse, or guiding the safe development of artificial intelligence and genetic technologies. Each is imagined to bring distinct knowledge or tools from their timeline, creating what some describe as a web of unseen influence on world events. Advocates of this view suggest that the rise in reported UFO sightings could reflect not just interstellar visitors but temporal ones, groups recognizing this moment in history as pivotal in determining humanity's trajectory. In this context, speculative narratives often reference places like Area 51, not only as research centers but as hypothetical meeting points or temporal coordination facilities where such collaborations might occur. While there is no verified evidence to support these ideas, they continue to circulate in fringe research and speculative media as a way of exploring alternative understandings of time, technology, and human potential. Some theorists believe that full disclosure regarding unexplained aerial phenomena may be approaching within the next few years. Supporters of this viewpoint point to recent public statements by the Pentagon, testimony from individuals claiming insider knowledge, and the growing visibility of unidentified aerial events as signs that a broader acknowledgement may be on the horizon. According to this perspective, disclosure may not come as a sudden, dramatic announcement of alien contact. Instead, it could take the form of gradual recognition that interactions or influences may have been occurring all along. Some fringe researchers even speculate that human civilization has long received guidance from advanced intelligences, and that such involvement is now entering a more active phase. In these speculative narratives, it's suggested that certain technologies, allegedly developed in secrecy, might be introduced publicly over time. These include ideas like clean energy systems, advanced medical tools, and environmental technologies. However, according to these accounts, such advancements would only be shared as society demonstrates readiness to use them wisely. It's important to note that these claims remain unverified and are not supported by mainstream science or official government disclosures. They represent a mixture of personal testimony, theoretical interpretation, and speculative storytelling. We're approaching a crossroads that will determine the future of human civilization. The beings working with our government have provided us with the knowledge and tools we need to survive and thrive. But they can't make our choices for us. We have to decide whether we'll use this technology to build a better world or destroy ourselves trying to control it. Every decision we make as individuals and as a society is being monitored and evaluated. How we treat the environment, how we resolve conflicts, how we handle differences of opinion, and how we care for the vulnerable. These aren't just moral choices. They're practical tests that determine whether we're ready for the next level of technological and consciousness development. The future humans at Area 51 and other facilities are essentially our descendants, reaching back through time to help us avoid the mistakes that led to their timeline. But they can only provide guidance and technology. The actual choices have to be ours. The truth about Area 51 isn't just about secret aircraft or alien tech. Some believe it's part of preparing humanity to join a larger community of intelligent life. For over 70 years, our government may have been working with advanced beings to guide this process. The secrecy, they say, was meant to protect us until we were ready. Have you noticed how fast technology is evolving? Seen strange objects in the sky? Do you think there's more going on than we've been told? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this video sparked new ideas, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. There's more to uncover in future episodes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.